go. Why does this feel like I can't? I need it forward a little bit or something. All right. 2, 3, 4. God is my help in every need. God does my every hunger feed. God walks beside me, guides my way through every moment of the day. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever we go, God is. Let everybody know God is, and all is well. Wherever we give, God is. Whenever we love, God is. There's always gonna be enough. God is, and all is well. God is my health, I can't be sick. God is my strength, unfailing quick. God is my all, I know no fear. Since God and love and truth are here. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever we go, God is. Let everybody know God is, and all is well. Wherever we live, God is. Wherever we love, God is. There's always gonna be enough. God is, and all is well. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever we go, God is. Let everybody know God is, and all is well. Wherever we give, God is. Wherever we love, God is. There's always gonna be enough. God is, and all is well. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever we go, God is. Let everybody know God is, and all is well. Wherever we give, God is. Wherever we love, God is. There's always gonna be enough. God is, and all is well. Wow.
I'm
That wasn't
sorry,
how
it
I
is so
planned
rare
it.
that I hear someone hit a note like that, and it just sends shivers down me. It's wonderful.
I almost missed it.
Not a chance. Not a single
yeah, there
chance. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well. I tell you that just gives me the feels to think about that. Good morning and welcome. Good morning. It's a pleasure to see all these beautiful faces today. My name is Stephanie, and it is my pleasure to greet you. For those of you who are here in the sanctuary, as well as those who are watching live stream, we affirm that we are all one in spirit. Our guest speaker today is Reverend Kris Broderhausen. We're very lucky to have her with us today. And her message today is about life is a journey. And I love that. That is wonderful. We want to give special thanks out to our musicians and our musical team today, because Sandra, who hit that note like a boss, wow. And Kris, thank you so much for all you do to accompany her and just keep us on beat. You're fabulous. Thank you. Byron, we appreciate you so much and all that you do for the media team, because none of this happens live stream without you guys. So thank you so much. We appreciate all that you do. I'd like to invite you to join me in prayer. Sweet Spirit, we open our hearts to receive you. We greet this day centered in God and in the knowledge that we are all one in the Spirit of the Christ. It is from this consciousness that we each become an individual expression of the love of God. We envision sending this love out to our world, seeing love extending out to our Unity community, to the city of Spokane, and out across the globe. We honor all those who worship on this day, no matter what religion, for we know that there are many paths to God, but there is only one God. In the warm and loving spirit of unity, we say thank you, God, and amen.
Lead me to the light. Lead me to the light. Help me to make it through. Lead me into the light. Make my eyes to see all that I could be. Help me to see it through. Lead me into the light. Turn my night to day. Take the hurt away. Help me to be with you. Lead me into the light.
So as we prepare for our time of meditation, first of all, with that beautiful song being led into the light, I invite you to just relax and take a few deep breaths and just let your body just kind of go. For this is the time where we go internally. In fact, you might just for a moment put your hand upon your heart, for that is the love center. And just feel the love that is who you are, the truth of your being. Today is also a day of remembrance. And so as we move into this meditation time, let us remember that there is only one presence, one power, one activity in our lives and in this and all universes. And we call that presence God. We call that presence life. We call that Mother, Father, consciousness of life. We share that with everyone. One life. From the Mother, Father, creation of which we've all come. And so with that in mind today, remembrance, let us ask ourselves a question. What is it that we choose to remember? For we know that if we are to be individualized presence of the divine, that our remembrances will be only that which is good. There is no room in our hearts for holding on to old grievances, holding on to thoughts of who may have done us wrong or done something that we did not approve of. But in this awareness of our divinity, our shared divinity, we let go and we surrender to thoughts of love, to remembrances of those who have touched our lives with love, with light, remembering what we have shared with family, friends. Breathe into the love and the light that you are. One of our greats, Jesus the Christ, said, "You are the light of the world." Our hymn says, "Lead us to the light." Light and love, they go together. The light of divine intelligence and the love of the Divine Mother. So let us just dwell in the truth for a few minutes. You are the light. You are the love. I am the light. I am the love. That is what I choose. And that is what I choose to remember now. We give thanks for this awareness of who it is that we truly are. and for the awareness of the same love and light within all. So let us project from our heart center love, from our mind center light throughout this world to every man, woman, and child. Every man, woman, and child. And for this knowing, let us affirm together 3 times, thank you, sweet, sweet, loving Spirit. Together. Thank you, sweet, sweet, loving Spirit. Thank you, sweet, sweet, loving Spirit. Thank you, sweet, sweet, loving Spirit. And so you might just take a few more deep breaths as we say, Amen. Amen.
I've got joy more abundantly. I've got joy. Spirit flows as me. I've got the joy of God in everything I do. I've got joy more abundantly. I've got peace more abundantly. I've got peace. Spirit flows as me. I've got the peace of God in everything I do. I've got peace more abundantly. I've got strength more abundantly. I've got strength. Spirit flows as me. I've got the strength of God in everything I do. I've got strength more abundantly. I've got love more abundantly. I've got love. Spirit flows as me. I've got the love of God in everything I do. I've got love more abundantly. I've got love more abundantly. I've got love more abundantly.
Appreciate it. And unity is a place of peace, and we have a peace statement. And we want to recognize that there are things that are happening in this world, and we wish that they were more peaceful than they are, but some of them are not. But we want to hold a vision of a peaceful end to the violence, not only in Ukraine, but in all nations presently at war. And I would like to invite you to share with me in Unity's statement for peace. Together, unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, the many ways to worship God. For there is one power and presence of God, and that God loves each one of us equally. Unity stands for peace in our lifetime. It is therefore the position of unity. Urge all nations, their leaders, and their people to turn to God by whatever name for guidance during these challenging times, and to pursue peace, not war, for this is what honors the God of our faith and traditions. Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to invite you to all stand. Pause in silence and acknowledge the divine in each other. For those of us who are joining on live stream, I encourage you to envision yourself with all of those in your spiritual community. Feel yourself expressing love towards these individuals, beholding the divine presence within each of them. Thank you. And now we get to hear a little bit more of that fabulous music, and I'm just really hoping I'm going to get to hear that note just one more time, because, girl, I tell you, those pipes, you just got those pipes. And then we will listen to the message from Reverend Kris this morning, which we are all looking forward to.
After all these years, I'm starting to see we're all threads in a tapestry, woven together, your life and mine, till our hearts and bones are intertwined. The road of life may lead us far from where we all begin, but sooner or later the hands of time weave us back in to the grand design. Out on life's highways we feel alone, as every bend takes us further from home. Our path divides, we take our chances and pray our loved ones will understand us. Which way to go, we don't always know, so we navigate by heart. But in time we come to learn that every road is part of the grand design. It's something I believe, and now I find it comforts me. I've come to love the mystery. The grand design is with us all along. A last goodbye, the newborn song. And in the end, we all belong to the grand design. If we could rise up high and see the whole road, how far we've come and where we'll go, see how our pathway crosses the others, we'd know how much we need each other in this living tapestry. Each thread is someone's road, and one day from a higher place we may know the grand design. It's something I believe, and now I find it comforts to the grand design. Ooh, the grand design. Ooh, the grand design.
It's great to be here. It's great to see your faces, and it's interesting seeing everybody kind of spread out. It's going to get me moving around like this. This is good. This is very good. Tony Robbins said, "The only impossible journey is the one you never begin." Lao Tzu said, "Do the difficult things while they are easy, and do the great things while they are small. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with just one step." I was reading some things by Alan Cohen this week, and one of the stories he tells is the story of Tolly Birkin. I think that's how you spell his name, say it, T-O-L-L-Y. Anyway, he was a very successful person, and this is how his success came about. He, as a teenager, was a clown magician. Then later, he went into balloon sculpturing, you know, where you make poodles and different animals and things like this out of balloons. But he actually made a living of this. He traveled around the world. He was on cruise ships doing that as entertainment, and he was able to go to exotic places. He went to Ken Key's Living Center and ended up becoming a training director. Well, later he went to India, and there in India he watched people walk barefoot over 1,000-degree burning coals. And then he would begin his new business, firewalking workshops that he brought to America. Along the way, he wrote a couple successful books. He recorded actually a record of his music. And, you know, one of the things that you could say about him is that luck had nothing to do with his success. Though the projects that he was involved in were varied in nature, there was one consistent factor. Tolly chose to win at life. And then Alan says, you can enjoy the same success being willing to be open to everything that happens as our own creation. See, this is a really important part of this piece today, as our own creation. In the Course in Miracles, it says, chance plays no part in God's plan. So the metaphysics that we've always known and loved tells us that accidents don't just happen. They are created. About 6 years ago, a little 12-year-old girl named Grace Vanderwall won America's Got Talent. And she won it because she sang a song of her own, something that she created. And it was called, I Don't Know My Name. I Don't Play by the Rules of the Game. You might have heard it, you might remember it, or you might want to go listen to it on YouTube, because it was wonderful. But, you know, I was just looking at her music the other day because she's like 18 years old now, and she's been one of the most successful people from America's Got Talent. She was in a movie, a Disney movie. She's produced a couple of albums, and she's just amazing. Well, remember that she's a teenager. I'm going to read some words from one of her songs. It's called Clay, C-L-A-Y. You see a girl in the hallway, and then you whisper to your friend, who is she anyway? You've forgotten what she looks like in just a day. But your words don't hurt me. I'll be okay, because you don't hurt me. I won't mold to your silly words. I won't live inside your world, because your punches and your names and all your jokes and stupid games, they don't work. No, they don't hurt. Watch them just go right through me because they mean nothing to me. I'm not clay. You see that girl in the hallway, smile on her face as she walks by. Trying to tear her down was your first mistake, because little do you know, she wasn't built to break. You know, I just love that song. I just love that idea. And I really love her. So we are not to break into two. We are made to break through. And that's something that's really important for us to remember when we feel like we're at a breaking point. There is a movie that I came across. I remember years ago hearing Mary Manon Morrissey say something about the 18th journey from the head to the heart. And I wanted to find that reference, and in the process, I found this video that she created. But have you ever noticed that we don't think of life as a journey until for some reason we're looking at a timeline of our lives, and we look back and we think, boy, that was a trip, or that was a journey. You know, that's when we realize it. Mary Manon Morrissey said, she said that her life is a destination of true heart-centered living. Now, wouldn't it be interesting for us if we started living by a destination we chose, by a desired outcome that we want, instead of letting circumstances determine where we're going to go and what changes we'll make? I think it makes a big difference. I want to show you a 4-minute film of this movie that I spoke about called Sacred Journey of the Heart. It's powerful, so just be open.
Our feeling about life, it actually changes our life. It changes our ability to see what's here. We're tripping on diamonds, every single one of us, all day long. Not because opportunities aren't here, but we're not tuned to the ability to see what's really present and seeking to support and bring forth and assist us in being who we really are and giving the gift we really came to give. This process of going into the heart, for those who say, I'm ready, I'm committed, I want to do the journey with you, I've distilled it down to 3 things, really a simple formula. Dive in, tune in, and lighten up. Dive in, that means the willingness to go into the feelings. And that takes courage, it really does. But you're not alone in doing that in this process, because it's really feelings that build connection. And then tune into what's there, whatever it is. Because the heart creates wholeness. Tune into your heart, and the wholeness comes from that deep place within. And lighten up. Lighten up in the heart and know that through the process there's greater joy, there's greater connection. Love manifests abundance. Living in the heart in this joy-filled way, that's the journey of the heart.
We get so stuck in a rut. We run the same day over and over again. The fear gets locked in our body. It keeps us from taking action, and we suddenly get hypnotized. What we're doing is to make a shift in how we're experiencing our day-to-day life. What better way to do that than do something totally different and allow ourselves to experience the exhilaration of a free fall.
A big fear in my life has been, who can I trust? So we got to be on the skydive trusting people we just met. We got to trust the pilot, and you guys that just packed the parachutes.
Oh my God.
And then I got to trust myself that I can do this and that it's going to be okay.
Sorry, got a joke now.
Dive in, tune in, and then lighten up, no matter what's around me.
I was given the privilege to be part of a delegation to fly to South Africa and award Nelson Mandela the Gandhi King Peace Award. And I had a burning question in me I wanted to ask him. How did you get sentenced for life by a country, You spend 27 years in hard labor. You get released, and then you're not only released, you actually become president of the country that sentences you for life. How do you do that? He said, when I went to prison, I was an angry, bitter young man. And I spent the first period of my prison years in anger and bitterness. He kept saying, it's over, it's over, it's over, it's over. And one day, he said, like a drop of water on parched land, the thought emerged from my heart, what if it's not? And it was like, what do you mean? What if it's not? What if it's not? And he said, I stayed inside that thought. What if it's not? And I noticed that I started to feel differently when I thought, well, what if it's not over? And then behind that came the thought, eventually, as I kept moving up the ladder of that expanding heart from what if it's not to what if your being here in prison is actually part of the ending of apartheid? Then what? And so I turned to my heart and I asked, well, if my being here is part of the ending of apartheid, what would I do? And the idea of writing letters about it, just writing letters came. And over time, as I wrote letters, more people started noticing and the American media picked it up and that led to sanctions. And he said, the man I was who went to prison could never have been president of this country and done truth and reconciliation hearings. I had to become the man that could do those things, and it was a journey of heart. So
pretty powerful, huh? I love the way that she said he had a knowingness in his heart, because I don't think many of us actually hear voices. I know I don't hear voices, but sometimes I speak in terms of I heard this voice, but I didn't. I just had an awareness in my mind. You know, when something like that happens, that's how it happens. And the more you get connected to your heart or your inner self, the more of that goes on in our lives. But wow, that is just so powerful about Nelson Mandela. And there's a lot of things that go on. Mary Mann Morrissey said, without giving yourself the right to feel the feelings, you really do one of two things. You either end up numb or you end up resentful. And when you think about it, when you're resentful about things that you're sending energy out to the quantum field, anytime you're resentful, you know, we're always sending energy out there, but we're talking about this resentful energy that's going out into the quantum field. You send that message usually to your heart, so that what happens is that the field resends it to you. You ever had that happen? The energy of resentment. And why? Is it because there's some bad part in the field? No, it's just simple energy. When you send it out, you get another opportunity to look inside your heart, another opportunity to experience that thing again, and maybe a chance to heal it. Now, we've all sent out energy. We don't always do it consciously, but we do send out energy. And you know, when you rehash things over and over and over, that's sending out energy. Why are you rehashing it? Because it wasn't a good thing. It didn't work out for you. And, oh, how could I have made it better? And what really happens is that it keeps dragging you down into a hole. Joe Dispenza says, if we look anywhere in the world right now, we see a fundamental collapse in our paradigms. The political model is breaking down. The economic model is breaking down through deception. The religious model is breaking down. The environment is breaking down. The medical model is breaking down. And how else can something new be created unless something falls apart? So the next time something falls apart in your life, maybe you might just embrace it. Look and see what's there. Greg Braden, he's an amazing being. He says, how strong is the human heart? How much power do we have to influence our bodies and our world? And he says probably the easiest way to explain this is through an example. So he talks about how in the northern hemispheres there's two satellites, you know, on each end, and they're continuously going out and checking on the magnetic waves of the Earth. And every 30 minutes, the scientists get a reading on these waves. Well, one day, several years ago, something happened to create a spike. Well, the energy goes like this. And then on this day, the energy went like this. And the scientists looked at that and thought, wow, what on earth? Yeah, that's it. What on earth could have caused that change, that spike? And so the scientists overlaid the information they found on a timeline, and they were able to take it back to September 11th, 2001. It happened exactly at 9 o'clock, which is 15 minutes after the first plane hit the World Trade Center. And it took about 15 minutes for the media to get going and this information to go out to the world. And within 15 minutes, there was a huge spike, a huge shift. Scientists pondered how this happened in the very energy fields that sustain and connect to all of life. What is it that could relate the human experience to what was happening to the magnetic field of the earth? And what they found was the outpouring of human emotion, which is untrained, it wasn't planned, but the outpouring of that human emotion went out collectively, and it was so strong that it affected the magnetic fields of the earth. The human heart is exceedingly, exceedingly powerful and able to connect. I mean, we connect with each other. We know how powerful those connections are. You know, do you remember the harmonic convergence? It was a planned occurrence. See, this one was untrained. Well, this was a trained experience. I forget the name of the guy who started it, but what he did was he sent out the message to the world that on this particular day, at this particular time, Greenwich time, so that everybody would be doing it at the exact same time wherever they were in the world, and the people would pray for peace. That's what the harmonic convergence was. Now, the idea was to get at least 1 million people saying the same prayer at the same time. Now, I believe that that was powerful enough to do something. I don't know what it was that it did. I have certain ideas about what had happened and what changes that it caused, but it was powerful. And, well, imagine how we could change the world with our heart. One person at a time, and for many, they can affect a lot of people. When we make the switch from understanding the world of what happens to us and what happens because of us and what happens because of something else, we notice things outside of ourselves that help us see things that we might want to change. We are causing an effect. That is the model to change our minds and feelings, the mind-heart connection. Joe Dispenza said that. So what we need to do is become aware. Have you ever had somebody say something to you that was really rather mean, or it was just unkind? There was just no reason behind it except maybe to tweak somebody. And then what happens is very often we'll go out and we'll judge that. And we'll think, oh, they shouldn't have done that. That wasn't understanding, that wasn't kind. But the idea of being able to make a switch would be to take something like that, and instead of pointing your finger out there to those that said or did that thing, you just begin to look inside and ask yourself, when have I ever been rude? When have I ever been unkind? Do I still have this pattern inside me? Is this something I can change? Is this something that I can heal? And, you know, I talked a little bit last time I spoke about forgiveness. Well, forgiveness is a really big key to being able to heal our past. But forgiveness is also something that we do over and over again. The important thing for us is that we don't want the energy of what's going on for us and what we are doing to coming back and destroy us. Because that's exactly what's going to happen if we open ourselves to things like that. Alan Cohen says, when we see choice instead of chance, we become the creator of our experience. We claim our identity as master of our destiny. So I guess my challenge for myself, not just this week, but hopefully ongoing for the rest of my life, is to really work with my heart. One of the people in this film, which of course you can watch this film. This is available on YouTube, and I believe it's perfectly free to everybody. But when I saw this film and I listened to it, and I thought, oh, how I really want to open up my heart more. I mean, you know the difference between Rich and I. Rich's heart is just wide open all the time. My heart is a lot more closed down. I'm a lot more guarded. Well, experiences in our life, make us different, make us more open or not. And, so I have that to work on, really learning and feeling and opening up my heart. And one of the guys in this film says one of the ways to get connected with your heart is oftentimes to just put your hand over your heart and breathe. Breathe as if you're breathing from your heart itself. And just keep doing that breathing and breathing and breathing until you can really feel the connection with your heart. This is something to do maybe during a meditation or just during a time when you're sitting outside alone and you want to practice this feeling of your heart connection, because as I understand it, the more connected we are with our heart, the more we will have these wonderful experiences of being able to communicate with that heart. The heart and the body might be right here, but behind our heart is our spirit. And our spirit is what wants to fly. So, this is a powerful exercise for us to do. And I encourage all of you to do this along with me. It's something that I believe in very strongly. In fact, if Heart Math ever comes back this area, I think that I'll become a part of it because it sounds like such a powerful, powerful experience. Well, and that's all I have for you today. So I hope that, that's enough for you and something that you can take with you and actually help us change our world. As you change your life, you're going to change the world, because there's no way those ripples going out aren't going to help somebody. So God bless you.
Sorry about that gap. I thought we were going to get more music, and I thought, what a perfect moment after that extraordinary message. And Reverend Kris, thank you. Wow. Thank you. That was powerful. And, I've had some very dark nights of the soul, as I call them, which is what I go through, what I'm letting go of, what's breaking down, what has to break down in order to make room for what's coming, for what's new. And I'm not always one who grows by the lights. Often I'm one who grows by the heat. And so I really appreciate your message, so that as I mature and I go along, it gets better. But I appreciate what you had to say today, because that was very powerful, and I cannot wait to go watch that movie. I'm very excited about it, because I genuinely believe in every word that you just spoke. So thank you for that. We are at a time where we are going to do our love offering. We appreciate that. And we get a piano solo with that. Woohoo!
Yes, you do.
All right, and we will do the blessing of the offerings. And I think, okay, if you want to support the ministry, there's a number of ways to do that. show up and give us something. That's awesome. That's the most obvious way. And the truth is that I don't care what you give us. Mostly what I want to do is see your faces. That's really what it's about. So show up and give us a little bit of your time and your energy, because I love that. But if there are other ways that you want to support us financially, you can do that online. You can do that with our website. You just click on the donate button at the top of the screen. You can send a donation in by mail, and you can also arrange for ongoing donations through your bank, through bill pay, or even a singular. So we appreciate that. Thank you very, very much, and we'll get that going. Thank you. Thank you. Please join me in blessing these gifts as we affirm together our love offering statement. Together, divine love in, through, and as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you. I'd also like to invite you to place any prayer intentions you may have into our prayer box before you leave today. Our prayer team will pray over these for 30 days, and then they will also send them to Worldwide Unity, where they will continue to pray over them for another 30 days. If you're joining us live stream, feel free to call your prayer requests into our church office, which is 509-489-6964. And then if it's all right, let's welcome in the children. Woohoo! Welcome in the children. If they're ready. I might be early.
You are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God. They're a little late.
That's okay.
In the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Wonderful. Welcome, children. Welcome, welcome. We have some new ones. Is that right? Do you want to tell us what you guys did today? Anyone? Did you guys talk about peace today? And I see that one of us is even wearing a shirt with a peace sign on it, right? Good job. Excellent. Oh, we have some painted faces. Beautiful. April, thank you so much for all of your time. I'm sorry, Amber, forgive me. I tell you, I don't know what is wrong with me. Absolutely nothing is wrong with me. In a previous life, you were April to me, okay? Thank you so much for your time with them today. Anything you guys want to tell us about today, about what you did with your piece? Anything at all? Oh, yeah? Okay, well, let's bless you then. Children, we love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you. And we behold the Christ light that you are. Thank you. While you guys are headed back to your seats with Mom and Dad, we have a couple of announcements. Our first announcement, I'm going to turn over to Sandra because she's always got something wonderful. And as beautiful as that voice is today, we're going to get to hear more if you want to.
So I probably have mentioned it before, obviously. The divas are back, and I have cards if anyone is interested for the show. We are performing it at Unity Spiritual Center, South Hill.
Wonderful.
October 14th and 16th. We have a new singer, and she's wonderful. So we're going to be doing somewhat the same show, but adding some new things in. Tickets are $30. I also do have tickets if you want to think about coming. I'll have them for the next few weeks. It's going to be a great show for those of you who know they've been touting us all over and saying that it was good. So we're happy for that response. And so come see me. If you're interested, you can also just take a card and think about it. So great.
This has had absolutely rave reviews. And if you didn't get a chance to see it last time, I highly encourage you to take advantage of this. These women are beautiful. They are talented. And I'm very, very excited about this.
And we're crazy on
And you're
stage.
crazy, like me.
Yeah, we carry on. It's fun. A lot
yes.
of improv.
Yes,
Yeah,
have a
lot of
good
improv.
time. Other announcements is it is September and we have September birthdays. We have celebration of cake today for celebration for birthdays. And aside from myself, is there anybody else having a September birthday? No? Okay, well, happy birthday to me.
All right.
Oh, no.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stephanie. You're wonderful.
Happy birthday to me. And we've got another one. Oh, remind us of your name. Evan. Evan's having a birthday too. What day is your birthday? 23rd? Fantastic. Congratulations. You're getting cake today. Okay, so we are officially off the rails. And so as our last couple of acts, we'll join together in a circle to sing our peace song, and then we will join together in reading our prayer of protection. Thank you, everyone, for bearing with me today. I love you.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator.
all those fabulous voices, please join me now as we read our prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a wonderful day, everybody. God bless you.
Spirit calls, come up higher. Spirit calls, sing, I believe. Spirit calls, come up higher. Love lifts us high and sets us free. Spirit calls, come up higher. Spirit calls, sing, I believe. Spirit calls, come up higher. Love lifts us high and sets us free. Sets us free from all lack or limitation. Sets us free to realize who we can be. We are made in the image and the likeness of God. Spirit calls, so stand up and believe. Spirit calls, come up high. Spirit calls, sing, I believe. Spirit calls, come up higher. Love lifts us high and sets us free. Spirit calls, come up higher. Spirit calls, sing, I believe. Spirit calls, come up higher. Love lifts us high and sets us free. Spirit calls, come up higher. Spirit calls, I believe. Spirit calls, love lifts us high and sets us free. Spirit calls, Spirit calls, Spirit